had been taking a little mini vacation with some buddies at Lake Murray in southern Oklahoma, but as I was leaving the campground, I noticed a sign for Lake Murray Chapel, so of course I had to stop. The sign says, "This chapel, erected with contributions from the people of southern Oklahoma and donated to the state of Oklahoma, was dedicated on November 12, 1961, to the glory of God and the edification of all mankind through religious freedom in the worship of God and the seeking of divine guidance." Okay, so I want to say first of all that I think this is a really good building, really interesting. It has lots to say about it architecturally, but also I want to say some theological things as well. I mean, first of all, it has these beautiful, though abstract, all the way up stained glass windows, this awesome high pointed roof with the wooden beams in the ceiling. Up front, there's this tall stained glass window in the center. We got an ambo, we got an organ, and we have this altar-looking thing over here. Interesting, we'll come back to that. It also has these nice side windows. I really like these down along the bottom. It's honestly a lovely space. I've spent probably 25 minutes mostly just sitting in here and enjoying it. But what is it? What is it for? I mean, it's a chapel built at a state park, given to the state of Oklahoma, so obviously it's not going to be a Catholic church. I get that. I'm not trying to say that this ought to be a Catholic church. You know, we don't have enough staff to just be, taking over little side country chapels like this. But places like this always make me wonder, well, like what do we do here? Because in this front, there is, again, there's this altar type thing here, but there's not really an altar. There's not even a cross or any religious symbolism whatsoever in here. So is it a Christian building? If you didn't know, you wouldn't really know. So it's this kind of, honestly, empty space. It's a beautiful building. I love it. It's architecturally wonderful. But as a religious space, what is it being? What is it doing? And I want to ask that question because I think, and my angle here is more talking to Catholics saying, we need to recognize more so that what we have in a Catholic church is something special going on. A Catholic church is not an empty meeting hall. A Catholic church has something right up there that's much more important. The Eucharist, the body of Christ, always present there in the church. In this place, where two or three are gathered in his name, Christ is here. But in the Catholic church, he is there all the time in the tabernacle, and that makes all the difference. A Catholic church is a place that God is present and you can feel at home no matter where you are. Again, there's an attitude that all churches are interchangeable, and, the reality is that they're not. A Catholic church has what no other church has, Christ truly present in the Eucharist. Now, I gotta be a little bit funny here, I think. This altar here, this thing here on the back, you could totally have a Mass ad orientem on this. I didn't, I'm not going to. But maybe if I come here camping again, I don't know, maybe I'll find time to sneak over for it. Honestly, this is a nice place. It's a nice place, and I wish we had more Catholic churches that were this nice. This is obviously done by an architect and designer who knew what they were doing. But here's the thing. Even though Catholic churches, some of them aren't as pretty as they could be, they're better than this because they have the Eucharist in them, and that makes all the difference. They have beautiful art and symbolism. They have the saints. They have God present on his altar in a way that he's not in this sort of space. This is a great place. I mean, again, look at it. But what's the difference between praying in here and praying in the woods out there on the nice picnic bench? Well, they're both beautiful places. There's not a lot of difference. But if the Eucharist were here, that would be the reason to come in here and pray. So if you're at Lake Murray State Park, come by, stop by the chapel, sign the guest book. It's a beautiful place. I'm not tearing it down for what it is. It's basically a generic chapel built at a state park. That's fine. That's good. I'm glad it's here. But we have to recognize, it's important to recognize for our own spirituality as understanding what the Catholic Church really is and what it does for us and what God has given to us through the Catholic Church, that this place is not interchangeable with anywhere that the Eucharist is. Just to bring things around full circle, this is my chapel at my rectory. It is architecturally nothing significant whatsoever. It's drywall and a rectangle. But because the Lord is present here in the Eucharist, that makes all the difference. That campground chapel, while it's a nice place to pop in and kind of look at it in a tourist sense, it's just a place to pop in and look at and appreciate for a few minutes. But here is the place, because the Lord is actually here, where much better prayer is able to happen. This is a place that you can sit and rest with the Lord in a much more authentic way than you can anywhere else. Any Catholic church where the Eucharist is present is a place to pray beyond all others, even if it's not the most beautiful. We should make them beautiful, though, too. We should have ugly churches if we can help it. But even if they're not pretty, the Eucharist is still there. God is there. That's the most important thing.